Alright, here we go. This is Division 7. It's the playoff final between Dying to the Boar and Siege Towers. And they've been drafting maps and civilizations, as you can see through the provided commands. And the way it works is that you pick and ban maps, but in the end you ban maps down to you're left with only one map, and the map that neither team wanted to play, I guess, but is Donut. It's kind of the leftover map after the banning process. So it's kind of hideout-esque, isn't it? But as you can see, this is unbuildable terrain on the sides here, so it means that you won't just be able to wall it off and go about your business. Doesn't look like there are any particular openings in the woodlands here. But yeah, this is unbuildable terrain, so this should provide rather aggressive games. So let's have a look at the civilizations here. Saracens for Yule on the right. We'll be playing archers from the flank, most likely. Suppose you could justify infantry openings here as well. The golds are huge piles, but semi-exposed and the woodlands kind of far away. In either direction, same walling issues here, you can't build on this terrain, so it's a bit awkward to fully wall your woodlands. For that reason, it might actually be better to start in the middle one, even if it's further away, because you could actually small wall it out. And we have a lame! Laming is allowed in this tournament. And Yule goes right to the opponent's side to steal an elephant. And I'm not sure if Dan even realizes what's up here. Trying to send the scout over, but that eagle scout is too slow. That's not going to go anywhere. So looks like this lane will be successful. Yule is even sending forward a villager just to be on the safe side here. And is laming Mayans, which I appreciate. Mayans have such a strong economy anyway, they can easily recover from having one elephant less. All of their resources last longer anyway. Doesn't look too good for a scout here. That costs Yule quite a bit of scout HP here, so you can't really take a fight comfortably against any enemy scouts here now, so you have to be careful with that. See for the left hand side, no laming action here, right? Nope, they're bringing in their boars, and yeah, so that's Yule with some nasty early aggression here. Let's have a look at the other civilizations here in the pocket. We have Slavs for Nefertis 1, 2, 3, or Heal, as we might refer to these players at later on. Slavs, decent pocket. It's more easier to mass boyars now than it used to be with the unique technology of Slavs having castle stone cones transitioned into wood, so it's easier to get more castles down once you have that unique technology. And the boyar being kind of a viable substitute for the Knight Cavalier line. Oh, let's see if Padlin can block the lame here. Lame are boys on siege towers, and they, for now, they haven't been dying to the boar either. So I think they're just trying to relieve dying to the boar of dying to the boar here by taking their boar, aka elephant here. Let's see if Padlin can block it. It's almost there. One more hit for the elephant, and the Grey Scout goes down. I think we're fine though. TC garrisoned. Yellow can't move closer without losing the scout, and down it goes almost. Not quite according to plan there, but that's one elephant lost on either side's flank here. So the only one with both elephants to eat of their own is Flaming Emu here. That should give siege towers some potential advantage. In fact, they have lower idle TC times overall behind all this. So that J15 struggling a bit to recover from the elephant loss here, I guess, with the high idle TC time at work here. Now for the other flank civilization here, Bohemia's flank for near 1. Long-term Hussite wagons, gun-powered units, short-term archers into crossbows into possibly arbalests, I guess. Then you could add some Hussite wagons later on to have in front of your crossbows to protect them to some extent from firing damage, and have a very expensive but effective meat shield, so to speak. Yule going up at 20 pop with the Saracens here. Will probably be dropping a market to manipulate the economy a bit, also bringing in his last war of the 2 here as well. One for the middle woodland at a very questionable location here. At the far edge of the map, but that's probably a scouting thing as well. That's going to have to be what you're going to have to replenish your lumber camps anyway. Oh, excuse me. Oh, long day today. As for the other team, we have Flaming Emu with the Magyar's Pocket. Cavalry Archers comes to mind, but looks like this is all flat terrain, so it might not be their strongest play, but they also have fully upgraded Paladins, so that's certainly an option. We are looking at the 22, actually 23 pop up here, so that could be the scouts for Flaming Emu over here. Left side Padlin with the Koreans, long term, war wagons, short term, archers, crossbows, arbalest. Would be the play on flank, and Dan and G with the Mayans will very likely play the archers, but could also transition into eagles as the game progresses. So the villagers are in here. We're gonna see the scouts from Nephthys here, and 4 villagers placing that stable for maximum speed of building to that stable. Maybe not maximum, but 4 villagers build more quickly than just 1 or 2, for example. So. Couple of ranges for a side here to Yule, and the Mayans player, even after being laned, isn't lagging that far behind. It's a 21 pop up though, so slightly weaker economy going up here for Dan, J. I don't know what happened to the... Oh, there are villagers building here. They're just hid behind the mill here. So yeah, 2 villagers building the range. Yule, however, already in production and will probably... Well, no market yet. But Saracens could drop a market at any point to get... manipulate the economy and tweak as they did to produce their units. Here comes some tunneling in towards here. No military buildings yet from Padlin, but I would have to assume that this is going to be a ranged play still. It's on stone here. Could be thinking about tower defense, which should work for the Koreans as well to get to their mighty war wagons. You won't be able to wall this section. Here goes the range, yeah. So we're going to see either archers line unit or skirmisher defense. Top side, some scouts from the pocket. Sees the walling villager. She is going to go down. Nice quick walls here from Padlin, going to make sure that the range goes up and the scouts won't be able to touch this building villager. The gold villagers are at risk though, and some of them are weak as well. Is that one going down there? That's going to be the first villager kill of... No, second villager kill of Nephthys here. As more scouts pop in. As we know, the slabs farming economy, it works faster as well. So that's going to benefit your production even more as the game moves on. Looks like Padlin is going to hold its own for a bit here. I think it makes sense, actually. There are more archers for Yule by far here. It's also got fletching in, which is not the case for the Mayans player yet. But there are some scouts here to move in front so that Dan J can get some hits in on the archers as they try to focus down the scouts. 2 rangers, production to 1 as well. But the blacksmith now researching fletching and armor for Dan J. Oh, woodline, good spot by Yule here. It scouted it earlier on, maybe. Oh, that's going to be quite a few villagers going down for Dan J here. Well, I think Yule happily trades this army for villagers and scouts, and they might even come out victorious here. It's not that many archers, it's evening out now, and Yule does not have the armor. So that certainly makes a difference here for the Mayans player, but it's still outnumbered, and Yule is dancing around a bit, whereas the orange player is standing still, going to lose more villagers here. Rough fight for Dan J over here, unfortunately. On the top side, we have some grey aggression here with the archers, but being chased down by Flaming Emu with the Magyar scouts here. They also have an extra attack on, or not an extra, but they get forging instantly, and they get, well, melee upgrades instantly as they reach the next stage, as Yule is just having the time of his life here. 5 builders down, possibly going to be at least 6 here, maybe even 7. And could now easily just move on to hit the gold as well. But he's taking green completely off wood, which is going to set back, green, I say, orange completely off wood. Dan J now going for the stragglers and also thinking ahead, placing a new mining camp up top here because Yule is going to contest this gold possibly. Left side, some raiding's been done as well, but LND one not having the same luck taking villagers just yet. Good defensive tower from Padlin here. Woodline, however, at risk of being taken down here, and Padlin did collect some stone, so and it is still collecting stone, so another defensive tower might pop up on the woodline eventually. Another wave of archers coming in from Yule here is also getting wheelbarrow behind this, which is not too common to get for archers style plays, but if you're the Saracens and have the market to tweak it, why not? It buys you some time while waiting for the resources to go to the cast age. Orange definitely taking the beating here. They're being hit heavily on both sides here. I like that tower. That kind of plays into the choke point that Padlin has made over here. He could even drop another tower on the left hand side and have like a pseudo castle at work. Cleans it up as well, so once again LND1, I mean Padlin not having lost that match, 3 villagers lost total levels to the early scouts, but looks alright on the left hand side here. Flaming Emu also not hit at all at pocket position and going to match the gas lap time on the flanks at least. However, we already have Nephthys here in the castle age pumping out the knights from the slabs. Only one TC for now going into boom mode here. Only one stable for now going into a mini boom with a second, no, third TC, not the mini boom, big boom with 3 TCs here. That's so that eco lead is going to escalate for siege towers. They're just slightly ahead, even with all the villager kills. They've had some idle time behind the killing, but they have wheelbarrow as well, which accounts for 3 more villagers, so about 12-15-ish villagers lead here for siege towers, and they're also going to the cast age, which is obviously going to benefit the strength of their units combinations. Grey Archers now found the pocket position, so LND1 getting 10 villager kills total this game. This might or might not be scouting for the woodland. If he finds the woodland in the back here, could snipe some villagers as well, especially now that Castle Age is in and Bodkin is coming in as well. Crossbow not quite affordable yet, but it shouldn't be too far away. However, with Flaming Emu queuing some knights now, that should be enough to clean this up with that Magyar's extra or instant attack. Oh, some knights trying to kick in here. That Korean's tower is going to work out here. You have instant guard tower upgrade as well. Looks like we might eventually see a castle here from Podlin stone situation actually allowing for one castle here. That should be going down defensively, I think, because that would protect this choke point even more. And it would actually be really hard for Dying to the Board to do any damage on this side if a castle goes up somewhere around here. Some rams popping in though, which will easily take out these fragile buildings of course, but if a castle pops up in the back here, that should still keep things out. Another TC on the woodland, nice way of securing that one. Let's see how much the rams can do here. Archers obviously can't do too much about rams. Smart entrance there, Elnendir one as well. And I guess it won't be possible for... Oh, Padlin tries to scramble up a castle, sends all of the villagers for the gold and the former storm miners as well. Oh, this could hurt a lot for Padlin here. A couple of wall foundations, and we could at least keep the knights out from away from the crossbows and get some pre-hits in. Will this castle complete? There are 4 rams pushing here, so another one popping in. Slavs, it's not Slavs actually, it's Bohemians, so never mind. But Slavs have cheaper siege, so that will help out. So this castle might go up at what cost? At what cost? It's denied! Ugh. That's a freakishly good castle denial from Elnendir 1, and honestly a game changer as we see, or not a game changer but a game closer, as we see the, yeah, that castle failing. Very important for Yellow to get that one up, but on the right hand side we also have Yule, yeah, killing it with crossbows. 23 eco units down. Knights showing us the most creative unit. I have my doubts about that because there are crossbows in abundance on the field, but Siege Towers take the first game. We'll see what Dying to the Boar's home map will be in a moment. See, after the patch which increased the crossbow cost, the crossbow upgrade kicks in a little bit later. Bodkin, of course, being prioritized, it gives extra range and damage. Uptimes here, nice one for Ural, going for the 21 pop straight archers there, I believe. Nephthys with a great boom at home base, didn't lose a single villager all game. That actually goes for the whole of Siege Towers, but we're going to die to the Boar's home map, so that could change. Let's just have a look at the map draft first. We just had Donut for Yule's team, which means we're going to Boulder Forest or Grand Barra for the other one. It says 3 maps on the left side here, but that's only because this is the one that's been banned down to the first, to being the first game map. So don't be fooled by three maps to here. It's just the way it is. Boulder Forest, essentially a Black Forest-esque map, isn't it? And Grand Barra on a much more open side. Let's have a look. Lama Alarm says, oh boy. Into Grand Barra. First home map of Dying to the Board. Oh yeah, I played this map in 1-1, I remember actually. So there's wood crossing, wood all around the middle here. You need to chop through to get to the huge amounts of gold in the middle, but it's not that easy to secure with castles because it's this is terrain, fragile terrain. So when you place buildings here, they are less stable. They are taken out in 25. They are taken out 25% faster, basically. So quite the open map, definitely more wallable than the previous one, so that could play into Dying to the Boar's favor here, maybe. So let's have a look at the civilizations here. Remember, they've been drafting civilizations for 5 games, that is 15 civilizations per game, so we're going to see a lot of civilizations in play here. On the flank we have Lava Alarm with the Aztecs, the decent flank civilization even for archers play, because they do have access to Arbalest. The only thing they're missing, I believe, is Thumbring, which is hurtful against cavalry fighting. There are Sea Eagles for them as well, so it could be used for raiding or to counter enemy archers. Danjay in the pocket here with the Lithuanians. Is going to field the cavalry over here. Actually, quite a few relics in the middle, so it should be possible for the Lithuanians to max out on the +4 attack relic bonus looking at the map here, but you need to get to the middle to do that, but that's something you're going to aim for anyway. Right hand side we have Flaming Emu as the Celts, who I don't know, maybe it's going to attempt some Huang-esque style play here with the siege and everything. Hoopla Matt, hello, hello. Ah, you weren't able to play. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, but Celts shopping wood faster could also be a reason for this map to get to the middle faster. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thank you, new patch. This is very dense, unfortunately. There's been some frequent bugs with recorded games recently. Not just no well starts this time, but just lots of different games. And sorry to say, there's nothing to do about that. That recorded game is broken, sadly. So we don't get to see this, unfortunately. I hope the next one works. But I do know from the results that this was also Siege Towers win. Unless I'm mistaken, but let me know if that isn't the case. Alright, fingers crossed that the third recorded game will work for us. We're going to Balder Forest. It is played on... Is this the Black Forest-esque map? Or maybe I'm mixing it up with something, but... Anyway. Alright, yeah, so this is Balder Forest. It's, you know, like an Arabia-esque Black Forest style map, but the choke points are wider as well. I think it was discussed that this should be played on Explored, but if the players agreed otherwise, that's fine. So they're playing it unexplored. So this time around we have Dying to the War with Lab Alarm with the Vikings flank here, another strong infantry, but also usually going for the archers civilization. And great economy as well, instant wheelbarrow and handcart, saving a total of 6 villagers equivalent in terms of research time. Some weird woodlands in the back here amongst the boulders, so you have to be careful where you place your lumber camp if you're going for the back woodlands here. Certainly wallable, you could wall this huge section here, for example, but there's a crossing in the middle as well, which you will need to attend to. So that's the Vikings flank. We have a Lava Alarm with we have Dan J with the Goff's pocket here. So I think Dying to the War wants to wall this off and get Goff's the potentially free boom here. And then we can see Huskarls and Goff's infantry spam dominating the game if they're allowed to do so. Padlin with the Chinese, another good frequent flank civilization for team games, some cheaper resources as the game goes on, and yeah, forced to force-drop food early on to limit the idle time you have from starting without food. You also start with a little bit less wood, so you'll often see Chinese with 4 on wood, no matter the build order, to compensate a bit for that. Couple of more sheep just to be found here. Yes, this is a beautiful mill spot. You'd rather mill that than the berries, I think, because you have 600 food worth of box turtles, and then there's the hunt as well. So that should be a nice mill spot for Padlin if it comes to dropping the first mill. Of course, the berries are slightly safer, closer to home base TC, but aside from that, this looks like the perfect mill spot to be. Elder with the Italians on plank here, so 15% discount on the researching the next ages. Where's she going? Is she going to wall or something? Just hanging out here? No, she's going back. Now she's gonna go for A barracks, pre-build rush here for the Italians. We need to keep an eye out on the Italians' progression here. But why would you pre-build rush the Chinese? You know they have loom. It's going to be less impactful to pre-build rush the Chinese and the Mayans because of that fact. You could still idle economy, of course. And maybe the idea is to mess up the Chinese as much as possible early on. El-Nadir one taking some damage here. I don't know if that was to Elephant or to Scouts fight, but at a bit of a disadvantage here. Seems like an easier choke point to wall off here for Padlin. That's actually going to effectively keep the Drush out as well. So these militia need to move over quickly here. Otherwise, El-Nadir is going to have to take the long way around over here, unless Padlin walls that in time as well. So the clock is really ticking now. Would almost, I mean, unfortunately, El-Nadir can't see that there's walling going on here. But with that in mind, maybe you'd send the first militia out already just to obstruct the walling and make sure you get in. So the scouts, they realistically needs to be over here now, if you, at least if you suspect if there's walling going on. And this is going to be too late, isn't it? It's too late to move out here. And with the houses going up here as well, I think that the rush opening isn't going to do anything. And this is lucky for Padlin, because Padlin hasn't even scouted the fact that the barracks is going up here. With some luck, there might be a hole here, though. No, the scout is trapped. Yeah, good luck with that one, Padlin, or El-Nadir. Good work on that, Padlin. Surprise! There's walls up on this side. In the pocket, no, right side flank, top side here, Laval Arm is also trying to wall off, but he's not going to be as lucky. For one thing, it's a broader section to wall, and for another thing, the Berbers rush is out here already. Lost one builder to, not to eco, to enemy military, but to the mighty Gaia by the looks of it. Good scouts block there, going to delay the walls significantly here, so damage already done for Yule here, taking out one builder as Lavalar quick walls in the next walling builder, just in case Yule decides to engage on that, but he is going to move on further as the Vikings player is dropping the barracks just now, at with some idle this time here, but also well on the way to the feudal age, which... I mean, it's not on gold yet, so I'm not sure what the plan is here. Seems to have forgotten to go to gold if the plan was archers here. You will taking some damage to the Drush, but still keeping the aggression nicely away here. And yeah, where are the gold miners though? What's the plan here from Laval Arm? Good small walls, going to limit the damage potential here. Took out two villagers. While on the other side, there's not much for El-Nadir to do here. Could alternatively try to find that crossing in the middle, but it will probably be walled before the Drush can get there, so might as well just hang out on the hill and get the heads up if anything happens. You could also pound away at the walls, just to be annoying and force repairs. Is that going to be an entry here? Maybe it will. Seeing the feudal age is kicking in as well, as Nephthys over here is going for a 25 pop-up. That could almost be a fast castle approach from the Gudjaras in the pocket here. Actually, it looks like that. Enough wood for the blacksmith market, and then worst case you'll sell 100 stone to have enough gold, but with 2 on gold that should be fine as well. Fast castle from the pocket. This is probably the plan of the Goths player as well, but the farm count is a bit heavier over here. So we'll see how that turns out. Looks a little bit unbalanced, these maps actually. Or I guess there was hunt next to these lakes as well, yeah, for most of them, but the hunt near the small lakes certainly an advantage for whoever has that. Blacksmith market now for El-Nadir. Not quite there for the Castle Age transition yet, but it's something at least. Quite a few Chinese farms here, they carry more food. We could compare with, for example, the Goths one here, and you'll see that the... or does he actually have Let's find one that's... Yeah, 160 something for a new one. Sorry, I need to compare with the opponent's farms, of course. So, yeah. Anyway, Chinese team bonus is that farms provide extra food. Nice! And he found a way around here. Going to obstruct the walling now. He's going to block that villager. Great. Blocking the escape. That's going to be one villager kill for the grey player. And could now move on to hit the goal, because that's going to be spotted in just a moment here. Oh, Scout needs to be move in scout speed, though. If the scout wasn't going with the militia there, that quick wall could have actually been blocked. But still, this renders the gold income very inefficient. In fact, they are not collecting gold at all, so I'd consider that a good point of aggression for El Nanir. As the feudal age kicks in for Padlin, let's have a look at resources. Not quite there for the castle age yet. Also, does he have the wood for... Yeah, definitely has wood for ranges and blacksmith, if that's the play, but here's blacksmith market, which is fine as well. Top side, Yule's brush is about to be cleaned up by archers, but this also delays the Vikings' aggression here. I wonder if I've seen this opening in the back here. There's still... I mean, it's not full walled yet, either here or there. However... Yeah, that's probably the Camel Scout, isn't it? And that's going to become a Camel in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Easy kill for the Camel Scout. Or now a Camel Rider, in fact. Oh. Okay, decent walling there. But also lacking a bit in the scouting here. Definitely an opening further down here. That could really backfire for Dying to the Boar if they don't spot the fact that there's impacted opening down here as well. Let's see where the archers go. Maybe they'll reveal the location over here. You're going into boom mode here with the second TC. We didn't speak of the civilization, but it's going into janitors! Well, that's not something you see every day, but that's a mobile skirmisher on the horse. Hefty stone investment here for Nephthys. I don't know if they want to try and block off the middle or something, or just go for... I guess he wants to get to the chakram throwers eventually. TCs on gold and stone, and then of course the starting one as well. 3 TCs also for the Goths here, setting up for the eventual late game Goths spam potentially here. Walled off his teammate actually, so Lava Alarm and Danjay. Okay, here comes a gate, so now it's fine. Now there's entrance for Lava Alarm if need be. Some men at arms here from the Goths, surprisingly enough. I'm not sure what kind of role they will play here from the pocket position, but why not? Ooh. A very aggressive Italian's castle here from El Nanir. How many villagers? 6 villagers. Seems like risky business, but it is going to set Padlin significantly back here. It's going to deny the gold. It's also going to obstruct some farm income. Second Rhino being taken in just now. That hurts the Chinese a lot. Unless this is some extra Rhino hanging out around the map somewhere. There comes the castle for Yule as well. Must be thinking about Camel Archers maybe. Not sure what the Janitors are up to, but they can't do much about the walling going on over here. Quick stone walls here for El Nadir, and Padlin will need to... it might already be too late to drop the castles actually. Here comes some longswords, coming the long way from the Goth side here, but I don't think they'll be able to do much here. If they try to break through the stone wall foundation. Oh, let's see. No, immediate reaction from El Nadir there to complete that foundation. And of course, these longswords won't break through these stone walls in time for this castle to be denied. Now another TC for Elenir as well. Wood and gold over here. Not a bad spot at all. Castle for the Guriars as well. Are we going to see these Chakram Brewers? It would be quite fun. Now a siege workshop being added as well, and Padlin is just at risk of being wiped from the map here. It's getting, yeah, the clock is really ticking now for the Goths ally to get to that Imperial Age and infantry spam here and get that boom to kick in. It's a limit to how much of a beating the Chinese can take before it's too much, you know. So one TC still for Padlin. Looking kind of rough at home base here. Might actually want to consider to relocate somewhere, but I guess you'd have to go all the way to the back of Lamalar's base for that to make sense. Yule isn't making too much significant progress here. Is going for the unique unit, so the Camel Archers in production go over here. Great mobile cavalry archer style unit, but on a camel. And also a direct counter to cavalry archer play. Not that we are going to see any of these civilizations go for cavalry archers, but it's one of their uses. Oh, here comes Danjay with the castle, which is going to need for Anarchy and Perfusion later on. Anarchy in the Castle Age to be able to produce Huskarls from barracks, and Perfusion to be able to create infantry units a lot more quickly. Completely idling here now. I think Dan feels the need to provide military instead, but longswords against the Genoese crossbowmen. It's not the best archer unit in the game, but they should still be able to hit and run against infantry. Actually, I guess that's a decent castle spot, and also hiding it away. Elenir won't be able to see that one going up, so it protects the gold of our Chinese civilization player here. The TC will be going down, but Padlin is will hopefully be able to recover somehow. The slinging rules say that you're not allowed to sling except for the event of a TC needing rebuilding, and he's lost a TC in the Castle Age here and may not have enough wood for a new one. Also doesn't have a market. Oh, it does have a market actually, so you could, I suppose, buy resources to get that, to get your TC up. Here it is. Goths barracks on this side. We're going to see Anarchy here from Dan J maybe. Some Huskarls would certainly come in handy against everything here. It would melt the siege, and it would also take out the Genoese crossbows and withstand some more castle fire as well. See how the Camel Archers are doing over here. Yule seems to be losing some of them to crossbows here. No ballistics yet for Lamalarm, so Yule could more easily dodge the units moving around here. And Scorpion got some decent value as well, but the Camel Archers now a bit low in numbers to deal with Lamalarm's aggression. It should be easy enough to keep the crossbows out, though if they try to risk moving next to the castle here, you could even just pop up a gate foundation, and Lamalarm won't easily be able to move through. Just outside the range of the castle there, which is good news for Lamalarm, I guess. But Camel Archers still in the making. Yeah, we have some Huskarls in the making now, for now just from the castle, but eventually with the unique technology you'll be able to produce them from your barracks as well. The economy situation from dying to the war looks rather grim. There's still 35 villagers left for Padlin, which I think is good, but given the pressure here, might want to relocate further to the back or closer to the teammate's base just to make sure the reboot can happen smoothly over here. There goes the university for Elenir. That's also the second building needed for Imperial Age, but the castle is up, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, Mangonels here. Crossbows against 3 Mangonels. Aye. Paladin taking an unfortunate engagement there, and on the other side, Yule has also forced Lavalarm to delete the Castle Foundation up top here. Probably with another wave of Camel Archers. So the Camel Archer count, nothing too particular here. Ooh, Lavalarm found a way through actually. Maybe just passed through next to the castle and took their chances here. As we have the mighty Chakram throwers from Neptis coming in here. They got a little bit of ranged melee attack, and also the discs they throw work kind of like a scorpion projectile. So you'll I will see in action here now. Probably more than one unit going to take damage from the hits here. Let's see. Yeah, it just slays. If you get to a good enough chunk of elite versions of the Chakram thrower, you could eat buildings so quickly as well, because since it's a ranged melee attack, they will benefit from arson if they have it as well, and in general they'll just be more efficient against buildings than your regular go-to ranged units are. Paladin securing some gold in the back here in the woodlands as well. Could possibly go into Chugonuek against the Genoese crossbowmen here, maybe. So we see the Huskarls roaming about. They have the best upgrades they can get at this point, +2 defense. Meanwhile, Lavalarm with the Vikings going Imperial Age here. With a very nice chunk of crossbows to benefit from the Arbalest and Bracer upgrades. And you're still struggling to get those Camel Archer numbers to critical level. Has 2 castles producing, but took some losses to the raids of Lavalarm as well. But that said, village count still higher, so the micromanagement of archers may have taken a toll on the villager and economy management at home for dying to the war. Danjay going Imperial Age now at 100 villagers, has a fluent economy running at home, decent eco upgrades as well, with missing handcart, not a big deal, but missing bowsaw and second for heavy plow is a bit more of an issue for our Goths player. Scary chakrams. Oh, here they are. Yikes. Look how quickly they're tearing these buildings down. It's ridiculous. And they probably trade really quickly as well. It's not that fast, but with 3 castles producing them, yikes. Imperial Age is in as well, and it looks like... Are they elite? Yeah, they're freaking elite. They're slaying the crossbows. I mean, their projectiles kind of work like scorpions, so that's not that surprising, but it's still annoying to see this unit at work. It's probably why Yule is banning Guriaras in AoE Elite games as well, to not have to fight this unit. Both offensive and defensive castles going up here. Yule now with 17 Camel Archers. None, Imperial Age though, the resource bar is getting closer. But since Nephthys is in the Imperial Age, you could easily move out and deal with these castles with forward castles and trebuchets of your own. Looks like Nephthys wants to deal with the Goths now. I guess this is like the perfect anti-Goths unit as well, because it will deal ranged melee attack and really make quick work of any infantry units that the Goths bring to the fight. There was a second yellow castle foundation over here at some point, but now it's going to go down defensively at home instead, and that's probably going to keep the chakrams somewhat away. Crossbow count for Lavalarm now only 8. Did hit the Imperial Age, but with now very few crossbows to benefit from the upgrades. Here comes perfusion for the Goths, so Dan Jake will be able to instantly produce infantry units here. But what's that going to do against the chakrams? So look at this! It's just ridiculous. Are they going to take out the castles? Don't tell me they're going to take out the castle as well. I suppose you could stand, like... They probably don't have minimum range, right? So you could probably just stand right next to the castle foundation and force your opponent to make murder holes as well. Going for the houses here, trying to get Dan J housed here. We're going to see that. We're going to see it if something starts flashing the host situation here. Soon Imperial Age for Yule as well. The forward castle is in place. Some more cavalry archers joining in. 3 castles producing the cavalry archers now. We're approaching deadly mass, and there aren't any crossbow arbalists in the decent numbers to handle that at this point. Enter the siege elephants as well, which benefits from cavalry upgrades. Yeah, Nephthys actually has a little bit that could get more armor, but at least the elephants should be going down to the Huskars here, because it is still a siege weapon. But let's see. Oh! Okay, yeah, Gurjaros anti-gops confirmed. Look at these just going down. They have all the armor they can get. They're supposed to withstand ranged attacks very nicely, but this is a ranged melee attack, and that changes things. It's like a 200 swordsman throwing swords here, except it's discs, or chakrams. Some preps down here for Helen and Neil, going to deal with the forward castles and mixed in some bomber cannons as well, and then hand cannoneers against the crossbows, interestingly enough, but the hand cannoneers obviously a measure to deal with the Goths infantry spam as well. Hand cannoneers have bonus damage against infantry. Does not take many volleys to take down these here, but that, to be fair, that's a huge amount of elite chakrams as well, so. And the siege elephants also pretty crazy as well. So we got to see 2 out of 3 games here. The second one was bugged replay, unfortunately. But Siege Tower takes the win, and we've had some players improving massively. Yes, indeed. Hoopla Matt was Yule was 1K last time I met him in one of our own 1v1 mini tournaments, and that's just a few months ago. So good work on improving the skills and strategies. It's a clever move to have good RS against the Goths here, I think so. That's a good pick as well. Let's have a look at the overall situation here. It's farmed African clearing to get 3 yellow. Alright. Oh, look at that KD. That's disgusting. 96-18 for the Chakram throwers. Silly. Much faster cast stage times here for Siege Towers. The Drush did some damage in the end. So if only Padlin had been able to wall in time, it could be a little bit different. Would only have to deal with the worry about aggression later in the game. But the much faster cast stages overall is still a concern for dying to the boar here. I guess that wraps that one up. Thanks for watching the 7th division.